Welcome to The Evolving Healer. I'm Chris Metoyer, your host. A little bit about myself. I'm currently a graduate student on the journey of healing myself while helping others heal along the journey. A little bit about the podcast. We'll be sharing real life experiences while you're going on your journey and while I'm going on my journey, being true, authentic, and pure. Welcome back to the Evolving Healer podcast, guys. Today I'm joined by a special guest. We'll be closing the month of May off speaking about Mental Health Awareness Month, talking about the importance of anxiety, depression, and unsilencing the noise that we deal with on a day-to-day, making it those conversations normal and things of that nature. So the guest I have today is Ka'Liah Sibley. She's a proud alumna of Southern University and A&M College, where she earned her bachelor's degree in social work. She later completed the Accelerated Master of Social Work program at the Louisiana State University. Furthering advancing her passion for serving others, Ka'Liah is currently an active social worker professional in the medical field, dedicated to supporting individuals and communities through her work in the field. In addition to her professional accomplishments, she's also a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta Incorporated, where she continues her commitment to service, sisterhood, and social impact. And together we'll be unpacking mental health, what it really looks like, and the myths surrounding therapy. Ka'Liah, do you have anything additional you want to share with our guests today?
I think you wrapped up my resume pretty well. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. So we'll jump right into it. So we'll start with mental health. Like, what is mental health? When you think about mental health, what does mental health means to Ka'Liah?
When I think about mental health, I just think about a check-in, like you're checking in with yourself and your emotions. So like when I hear mental health, like how are you feeling mentally right now? Like, are you sad? Are you depressed? Are you happy? You feeling good? It's like a check-in with all your emotions.
When you think about your clients on a day-to-day, you and client facing every day, all day. So tell me a little bit about like when a client say like, hey, I'm sad, like what does that look like for a client?
Well, I work in a hospital, so most of my patients aren't too happy to be in a hospital to begin with. So on the brighter side, I just talk about, try to discuss like the positives of my role in discharge planning. So like I try to refrain from them thinking about them being actually in a hospital and just focus on like getting them better. So instead of being like, hey, how you doing? I know you're not doing good. You're in a hospital
Absolutely.
bed. So I'm like, I'm here to help you with getting you out of the hospital, getting you to this rehab, getting you back to your baseline.
Right.
So I just don't discuss like their current state because nobody want
Changing the narrative, making it look different for them is important.
Yeah, so it's like I'm in a hospital. I don't want you coming in and asking me how I'm doing. I'm not doing good.
Absolutely. When you think about mental health, why do you think so many people struggle in silence?
Because it's not normal. I mean, not normal, but they don't consider it like natural. Like it's not traditional for certain people. So like that's why a lot of people don't pay attention to it or just move it to the side because it's not traditional. But I feel like it's starting to become a traditional thing. People are being more open. People are not now starting to take it seriously.
Absolutely. And I feel like truly in our Black community, a lot of us tend to struggle with expressing our emotions. We're used to like, hey, let me just deal with this later. Let me put this on the back burner. But I feel like we have brought awareness to it.
Yeah.
And we continue to bring awareness to it, which I love the fact that we're young Black individuals in the mental health profession.
Yeah.
So we can continue to bring our people into the light of, hey, it's okay to feel those emotions. Let's deal with it.
Right.
Do you think society is getting better at talking about mental health, or do you feel like we still have a long ways to go with it?
I do believe we have a ways to go with it. It's ongoing, but I do feel like society has gotten better with it. Like it's now becoming common to discuss it. People are now speaking on it when people are, taking their lives and people are having mental breakdowns on social media. People are taking it seriously and yes, we got a long ways to go, but it's so many resources now, and with us being a new generation and changing the narrative of mental health, we're able to help others and talk about like, hey, you need some help.
Right.
This ain't, right.
It's an urgent matter.
Yeah,
We're being more proactive versus reactive.
Right, exactly.
So when we think about depression and anxiety, those are the most common experiences when you think about mental health and what people face on a day-to-day. And oftentimes it's very misunderstood. What are some ways depression and anxiety can show up that people might not even recognize?
Definitely missing out on opportunities. For me personally, I feel like in college, I let my anxiety talk me out of experiences and, making networking with people
Hmm.
and putting myself out there. So anxiety can definitely prevent you from moving forward in a positive way, just being in your head and stuff like that. And as far as depression, is when you go to work every day, we all are working and, everybody is tired and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But going to work every day and going straight to sleep after work, not even fixing yourself lunch and stuff like that. Depression, that could be a sign of depression, just sleeping your life away. Like, we want to say we need rest, but sleeping your life away can be a form of depression.
Absolutely. I noticed you said your college days, you feel like you allowed your anxiety to take over. Do you feel like it was more so social anxiety? What type of anxiety do you feel like you experienced during during your college experience?
It was definitely social anxiety. Like as a first generation college student going to college and stuff like that, everybody, is there. They're joining clubs and stuff like that. And I didn't join clubs until like my junior, senior year. And that's when I made some of the most of my long term friends
Friends.
was joining those clubs and stuff like that. So it's just like that's something in the back of my head. I kind of low key regret not joining sooner
Absolutely.
and stuff like that because I feel like I missed out on, making these connections and stuff like that to the last minute. But I'm grateful for the friends I made. But I just feel like that social anxiety definitely, can hold you back and, making those connections with people.
Absolutely. I feel like anxiety can hinder us from entering rooms that's meant for us.
Right.
How do people anxiety impact their everyday life? And when you let me reframe that. When you think about anxiety, how do you feel it impacts their everyday life?
Like how does the anxiety
For example, in their work life, like how do you feel like anxiety show up in their work life?
Definitely having that imposter syndrome, thinking you're not good enough, second guessing your skills when you're in the workplace. Like I went to school for 6 years. Like you know what you're talking about. Just having it can definitely affect your confidence when you're
Mm-hmm.
speaking to others, speaking with management, speaking with patients. You can second guess like, am I doing this right? Am I confident enough? Am
And we
I
tend to underestimate ourselves as
yeah.
well in those moments. And I feel like a lot of times, people tend to be like anxiety when you have an anxiety in the workplace, you're not showing up your best self.
Right.
You don't have that drive, you don't have that passion
Confidence.
to show up.
Yeah.
You're like, man, I gotta be here again today.
Right.
So why do you think people wait until things get overwhelming before they seek help?
Just, not having that education, not knowing how to take care of themselves, just being on go, feeling like they can't depend on nobody. Um, they typically feel like I can't worry about me right now. I just gotta handle it. I gotta push through. This is life. There's some people just probably don't have that support system. So when it gets too late, it's kind of too late because they didn't really, check in with themselves, know when they was becoming overwhelmed and when things were becoming heavy for them.
And I feel like a support system is very important, but I feel like sometimes our generation and our people tend to rely on that support system too much to where it
Yeah.
handicaps us in a sense.
Hmm.
And we tend to want a handout versus let me work for what I want. Let me do this on my
Yeah.
own. And I feel like we misconstrue what a support system really is.
Right.
Don't just take advantage of people and use people just because they're available to you.
Right, exactly.
Because then people gonna get burnt out on, you constantly asking for this or that, like, hey.
Right.
So let's shift a little bit into the myths of therapy. A lot of times people feel like, hey, I don't want to go tell nobody my business. That's just a person, like they can't help me. I don't need no help. All of those things. What are some common myths you've heard about therapy?
Definitely, it doesn't work, but in my opinion, if you go with the mindset if it's not gonna work, it's not gonna help you.
Absolutely.
You gotta want the help. I can't help you help yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to want that help. So for people to say it don't work, of course it's not gonna work. You already thinking it's not gonna work. So that's definitely a myth I done heard.
Absolutely. Like, for example, I have a teenage client who pretty much told his mom, like, yeah, therapy is not working. This a waste of time.
Mhm.
And so I told him and mom, well, my mom said, I was like, of course it's not working. You're not showing up to even engage in sessions.
Yeah.
You're not giving us nothing to work with. So if you're not working with us, we can't help you. Help me help
Right.
you. And
Exactly.
mom was like, yeah, that's exactly what I've been telling him. Like,
Yeah. You
he's
definitely
not
gotta
even
wanna
engaging
help.
in sessions. He don't want the help.
Yeah.
So why do you feel that so many people are hesitant about therapy? Like, what is it that causes us to be like, no, I don't want to go?
Definitely, being invalidated about your feelings growing up. It all starts at home. That's my favorite thing to say. It starts at home.
Absolutely.
Therapy being untraditional, people can be hesitant with going to therapy,
Mm-hmm.
but they definitely need it. They just have to put themselves out there. So definitely starting at home. Your mom saying you sad, and then she saying, "Well, go sad those dishes." You know what I'm saying. But you just having that safe space to be able to talk about it. It starts at home. You got to be comfortable and want to be
And
able
I
to
feel like a
go
lot of
forward with it.
kids too, they tend to, it's like you said, to start at home. They see their parents have problems. Their parents not dealing with their problems. But mom and dad want me to get help and want me to be open and transparent with this person that I got to see every week. But mom got a problem. So why I got to do this
And
if
I
she
can't
not
even
doing
be
it?
open with you, but you want me to be open with this stranger.
Exactly. Like I have a lot of kids now. Like I had one little girl tell me like, my mom needs more help than I do. And I'm like, yeah, but at the end of the day, mom has to want help.
Yeah.
I can't force mom to get help and things like that. Like I can suggest to her like, hey mom, maybe you should consider services
Yeah.
because this is what I'm seeing. But at the end of the day, as parents, we have to learn to allow our kids to first be a listening ear for them,
Yeah.
not be so judgy and pushy and make decisions for them
Right.
because times are different.
Yeah.
Like,
You just need to be able to grow up and be able
mm-hmm.
to have that opportunity to be soft with your parents.
Absolutely.
And basically that's all I gotta say about that. Like if you being able to basically be comfortable, it starts at home. And when your parents make that safe space for you
Mm-hmm.
growing up, then it wouldn't have no problem with going with therapy and everything like that.
Do you think people believe they have to be at their worst to seek help?
No.
So if they don't feel they have to be at their worst to seek help, why it's so hard to get them to get help? Be proactive about getting help.
First, that person needs to check in with themselves and know when, like, they are at their highs and when they're at their lows and when they're at their mediums. So some people don't even know when they're at that breaking point. So when they're so overwhelmed and they feel like they're at that breaking point is too late, is because they are not confident within themselves. They don't know themselves. They haven't spent time with themselves to know how to manage all their emotions. So that's why a lot of people feel like it's too late because they're at that breaking point because they haven't had that check-in with themselves yet to notice like when I'm at my highest and when I'm at my lowest.
And two, I just want people to understand that like therapy is not just for crisis. Therapy is for growth and development.
Right.
And understanding too that sometimes we just need that extra support to help us redefine and navigate a journey.
Right.
And it may be a temporary time period. It may not be a long-term thing. But in that moment, you might just need that extra support. And for a lot of people, showing up to therapy can be very hard because now I have to be vulnerable. I have to be transparent. I have to do all of those things for this stranger to be able to help me. Why do you think people think asking for help feels so difficult for people?
It could definitely be a pride thing. Not wanting to, like, knowing you need the help but not actually going through with it. Thinking about what other people have to say when it's really nobody's business if you're going to get therapy. Definitely just having those second thoughts and
The
not
feelings
having
of
the
being judged.
being judged and not being confident with moving forward with therapy. Just outside thoughts that really don't matter.
Absolutely. And two, I feel like a lot of times it's important to a lot of people not aware They in denial because it's like, okay, yeah, I have this, but is this really anxiety? Is this really depression? Am I having suicidal thoughts? So I feel like it ties back to being educated about those things.
Mhm.
So bringing more awareness and providing those individuals with education about, hey, yeah, you're facing anxiety based on this, this, and this. And I feel like as therapists and mental health professionals, it's important for us to be able to convey that message to our clients and let them know, like, as you stated, like, you're not sleeping at night, you're not eating, so they can understand the why.
Right.
What fears come up for people when when they think about opening up?
Definitely being judged, misunderstood,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that feeling of they're not gonna understand me. But it's like if you talk to a professional, I guarantee your problem is somebody
Somebody
else's
else's problem.
problem. Like you just need to gain that confidence to be able to speak to someone about it. You gotta want the help.
And two, I feel like a lot of people, not just the fear of judgment, but it's just not normal for them.
Yeah.
They're not comfortable with being able to be vulnerable, being able to be transparent. They so used to dealing with it on their own
Yeah.
or just pushing it to the side, and then it blaze up to just this big old fire.
And being overwhelmed.
And then it turns into something else that, hey, if we would have been proactive in the situation, we could have diffused that situation.
Right.
So when you think about like being a mental health professional and things like that, what do you feel like help you become comfortable seeking help or support?
Definitely, working with others. Like my first job was in foster care DCFS. I thought I had problems. There are other people with way worse problems. Way worse. So seeing that side of the world that I was really, I don't want to say ignorant, but like, just thinking
Not
like
knowledgeable.
not knowledgeable about like other people problems, having things way worse. It made me have a check-in with myself and be like, girl, your problems are small. And they are manageable, and it's not the end of the world because it could be worse. So
Absolutely.
definitely seeing that side made me, want to just be considerate of others and myself and just move forward with being able to manage my feelings, seeking where I can get help if I need the help. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
I feel like for myself, I would say life, many changes, many transitions, understanding, like, I had to understand that, hey, those are totally normal emotions.
Yeah.
You have the right to feel the way you feel. So at first it was like, okay, I don't want to go to therapy. I don't want to talk to nobody. But once I got into therapy, I seen the benefit of it. And it was like, okay, this was necessary for this season of my life. And it continues to be necessary as a mental health professional because the work we do is heavy.
Yeah.
And we constantly pouring into people. And a lot of times they not pouring into themselves. So we filling an empty cup that's never gonna fill up. So
Right.
it's like you're becoming mentally exhausted because it's like, am I helping them?
And I can't force you to want the help if you don't want it.
Absolutely not. So I feel like I had to take a step back too in that aspect of not becoming burnt out
Yeah.
and realizing like you've done all you could. Don't overextend yourself.
Yeah, but you don't have to beat yourself down about that because it just shows you that you're passionate about what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And you want people to have help. However, you do need to be able to set that boundary within yourself. Like, hey, people are going to be people. They're going to disappoint you. But all you can do at the end of the day, you tried your best to help that person
Absolutely.
with going forward and wanting the best for them. And then, they have it in the back of their head. They just have to
And
want to be
sometimes
able to
it
go
take a
forward with it.
while
Yeah.
because some clients you see like it might take you 2 to 3 months to even build rapport with them. And that third month hit Little Johnny coming in telling you everything.
Okay.
Like, mama did this, daddy did this what I'm seeing. Like, they coming out, they laying it all on the table. But so I feel like in this field, like, you really have to have a heart for this because if you don't, you will become burnt out, you will become overwhelmed, you will be depressed, you will be stressed out.
Right.
So understanding like, hey, you, like you said, boundaries are important. You have to know when to turn work off.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I got a work phone. Don't
That
text my
part.
personal phone. That's a boundary for me. With my clients, you don't care, I don't care. It's that simple.
It's only so much you can do.
Yeah. Like, I'm here to help you. You gotta want to help yourself. I'm not finna do
You
the
have
work
to
for
help me
you.
help you.
Exactly. Like in a hospital, like a lot of our patients come in with no Medicaid, no insurance, and they get mad when I provide them with the resources to apply for Social Security and disability. They be like, don't you supposed to fill out the paperwork? Honey, I'm giving you the resources.
They
This is
want you to do everything.
self-determination. When outside of this hospital, you're not gonna have me. I'm giving you the resources. This is what you need to do to apply and help yourself. So
Absolutely.
it's like, you gotta, it's tough love. Look, I'm giving you the resources. You just need to you need the
Yes.
money, apply. If you need it that bad.
And it be like that. And sometimes it take a lot of tough conversations with these
Yeah.
individuals because sometimes people will really try to run over you, especially when you're young. So it's like, okay, I'm older than you. I could talk to you any type of way. No, we're not going to do this. You're going to have respect for me.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think people minimize their struggles because they don't look like what they think depression or anxiety should be?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like growing up, like I said, it starts at home. You're sad, you're depressed. Mom, I'm not feeling good. I don't want to go to school. You better go to school, stuff like that, not taking mental health seriously. So they grow up thinking like my feelings don't matter. It does, I'ma just get over it. It shall pass. But it is serious, consider your feelings because they're valid. You're feeling those feelings for a reason.
Absolutely. And two, I feel like a lot of times, like you said, it's those passive aggressive moments that causes the young kids to be like, okay, I don't have nobody. I don't have no support.
Yeah.
They feel devalued. They don't feel important because mom yelling at them because
I don't feel good. I'm mentally exhausted.
or even they feel like mom treat the other siblings better.
Right.
So I feel like in our community, in our society, we have to learn to first acknowledge their problem. Don't just disregard what their child is telling you because their feelings are valuable.
Yeah.
And once you show them like, hey, I don't care about your feelings, it doesn't matter, they gonna shut down.
Yep.
You probably gonna have behavior issues with them. They gonna have issues at school. The grades gonna begin to
Everything
slip.
starts at home. That's why that's my favorite statement to say. Everything starts at home.
I'm like, I see this on a day-to-day where mom yelling at you, calling you the B word, MF this and that. Like, you have to give respect to receive it.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of parents feel like it's my way or the highway.
Right.
We have to learn to stop going towards that dictatorship.
Right.
And listen to our kids.
Yeah.
Because what these kids see at these schools and on social media and stuff is different from 20, 30 years ago.
Exactly.
So I feel like it's important for parents and as adults to be aware of the differences.
And self-check in with yourself. Like how I'm talking to my kid. Yes, you're the adult. Yes, you're the parent. However, that's your house, your rules, but your child has feelings.
Absolutely.
And their feelings matter.
And understanding too that things are continuing to evolve. You don't have to do things that way because that's the way you were brought up.
Right, exactly.
And a lot of times these parents have trauma that
they
endured and passed. And so now they passing it to the kids, but you expect your kids to break this cycle.
And go to school, get straight A's, be nice. You wonder why your kids being mean at school. Their first bully is at home.
Absolutely. My mom is verbally abusive.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I feel like that's very important. And vulnerability can feel very uncomfortable for people that, it's just not normal for them. And sometimes we have to understand that strength is not silence. Sometimes we have to speak up and understanding that community and support is essential for our healing and our growth and development overall. What does healthy support actually look like?
being listened to. Sometimes people just want to be heard.
Absolutely.
When I was in school, I thought that was something that stuck out to me. Sitting in silence with a client. I was like,
I had to
how is
learn
that
that.
therapy? You know what I'm saying? So like, just sitting and listening. Some people just want to be heard. They don't want solutions. This is their feelings. Feeling supported. Hearing them out. Not being judgmental towards them. Just being that listening ear.
And sometimes too, like I've been learning, in those sessions, once a client say something, you don't have to instantly give them a response. Sometimes we just have to sit in that moment and allow that moment to simmer and allow that client to think about what was said
Exactly.
and move forward. And I had to learn that therapy is a process. We're not coming in to instantly solve the problem. And we're
Right.
not there to, make a client do this or do that. We're
Right.
here to suggest and help you along this
That's
journey and this process.
it.
So I had to really learn, like, my job ain't to be the problem fixer.
Yeah, I'm not your problem solver. You gotta
Yeah.
want the help.
Yeah, so that's been very important for me too. Like, and then just understanding too, being proactive when seeking help. Don't wait until the battle's too hard. So before we close, I got one final question. If someone listening feels overwhelmed right now, what would you want them to take from today's session?
That your feelings are valid. You're feeling those feelings for a reason. So I suggest, you take those feelings that you're feeling, sit in it, but don't sit in it too long. But your feelings are valid. Don't sit it. You have to feel those feelings to be able to move forward and then address those feelings face on and, go forward with life. Take step out your room, change up your routine. Yes, your feelings are hurt at that moment. Yes, you're feeling overwhelmed, but, feelings are temporary. So you will be able to move forward eventually. Just don't sit in those feelings, That's all I have to say about that.
Yes, absolutely. And seek the help and support when needed.
Yeah.
Don't allow our past narratives to dictate our future. Understanding too that, hey, depression and anxiety is normal.
Yeah.
It's okay to go through those different ways and understanding that life brings us different seasons. And you're not weak, you're not broken, you're not too much, you're most definitely human. Don't allow anyone to tell you any different. Again, thank you, Ka'Liah, for joining me on the Evolving Healer podcast. And to everyone listening, keep evolving, keep growing, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Thank you for having me.